Welcome back to the Many Toys Of, the show in which we go over the action figure history of various Transformers characters. And today, we are looking at one of the Scavengers, one of my favorite Decepticons to ever come out of the More Than Meets the Eye comic run. We're talking about the helicopter medic Spinister. Before we begin, a big thank you to Pultastic, Malix, and Giovanni3479 for recommending this helicopter boy. For anyone who doesn't know who Spinister is, he was a G1 nobody. Very similar to a character like Needlenose or other characters we've yet to discuss like Swerve, Chrome Dome, and Rewind. They were just kind of there. One of the many toys that never really got any type of spotlight in the fiction. And then IDW came along and gave them such beautiful personalities. In terms of the Scavengers, and specifically our boy Spinister, they took a bunch of loser Decepticons and made them fun and endearing and quirky and unique, at least when they weren't cannibalizing each other, seeing as how Spinister's first appearance saw him literally rip apart flywheels for his innermost energon. Spinister, being the medic of the team, was actually usually played up as being a bit of a straight man. He was a hulking brute of a character, and yet he was usually pretty sensible. He didn't talk all that often, but when he did, he was pretty insightful. That was kind of the joke with him. You look at him and assume he's the muscle of the team. Turns out he's much more the everyman. Unlike a lot of IDW characters, though, Spinister's actually had a good number of toys over the years, believe it or not. Of course, only one Spinister could be the first one, and in 1988, the original boy to bear the name came out. Now this is a double target master, which is to say he comes with two little boys that turn into guns. Again, actually pretty similar to Needlenose. And now I'm realizing the only double target master we haven't done yet is Quake. We'll get back to that later. The point is, Spinister is actually really fun to look at. His color scheme is just to die for. The pinks, the purples, and the blues all work together very well. I especially love the fact that they're kind of contained to parts of the body. The blue is the only color of the lower body. The pinks and the purples make up the upper body, and then the blue comes back in the faceplate of Spinister. It gives him a very powerful, very normal look. It actually kind of looks like he's wearing blue jeans. The helicopter mode is the stronger mode. I mean, it just looks like a fun, kind of cartoony, futuristic helicopter. In robot mode, I mean, he can stand there like a champ. However, he doesn't really have any articulation. Thank God his guns can move up and down, I suppose. Honestly, the best thing about him are his target masters. Singe and Hairsplitter are really helping to carry this guy. He looks good. You put him on a shelf, he's going to look great with any G1 figure, but even by G1 standards, he's a brick. He can't move. Most of them at least can move their arms, kinda, but our boy here? I mean, I guess he can bend his knees. It took 21 years for Spinister to get his next toy. That's right, if you were born right after that Spinister came out, you'd be able to drink in the States by the time the second Spinister came out. And the second Spinister was the Revenge of the Fallen Legends class Spinister. He is a repaint of Grindor, and I do like the colors. The black and purple work really well. Admittedly, him being a Kmart exclusive, there's nothing new here. He really is just a straight repaint, but I mean, it's kind of cool to see that name again. 2012 would probably be the best year for Spinister in terms of releases, seeing as how he got a whole 2 toys. And the first toy was a BotCon souvenir. You would have gotten Spinister and Octo Punch together, and Spinister, he is a pretty heavy repaint of the Hunt for Decepticons Tomahawk. So Tomahawk was already one of the most original and unique helicopter toys to ever come out of Transformers. His transformation is still pretty exclusive to him. There's not been another helicopter boy to really go that direction. And Spinister, with the new head on top, he kind of just brings it into a more IDW aesthetic. There's still some weird things here if you wanted to put him on a G1 shelf, but I think it works. The second Spinister of 2012 would have been the Creon Microchanger Spinister. He was actually one of the original Microchangers released, and he's solid. I love his massive double-barreled rifle, and overall, he's just a good minifigure in general. I especially love his very light blue eyes. 2 years later, in 2014, we get a second go at Small Boy Spinister, because if you got the Generations Legend Scale Nemesis Prime, he came with a Target Master named Spinister. And not only do you still have the great colors here, but think about this. Once he wielded the Target Masters, but now Spinister is the Target Master. This is cinema. In 2016, Spinister must have found himself a Mario mushroom because he grew back up into a full boy. TFCC needed a second dip into the Spinister pool because they were building up their own combiner, Thunder Mayhem, and they need someone to be the Alpha Bravo repaint. And guess who else is a helicopter? Spinister! Yeah, he rolled in with that one credential and got himself a pretty solid looking toy. I love these colors on the Alpha Bravo figure. It works incredibly well to completely recast him in these crazy late 80s Pantones. Past that, it's just a good toy in general. A good robot, a great helicopter, a fun transformation, good arm, good leg, and Spinister is kind of just benefiting from all these good points of the Alpha Bravo figure. It makes this arguably his second best figure of all time. What's also really solid is he comes with his Target Masters again! Look at this, the family is reunited, even though one of them has a new government name. Say hello to Singe and Shroot. Finally, in 2020, we would get the best version of Spinister to date. The Siege Deluxe Spinister. So let's just run down the list. His transformation is amazing. They found a way to hide a second cockpit in this toy so that he can still have his design from G1. He is fully articulated, he's a massive deluxe, he stands taller than some Voyagers. He still has the two guns, unfortunately they're no longer Target Masters, but he has the two guns. The colors are still just beautiful. This is the only Spinister since G1 to remember that his entire lower body is blue, so again, he just looks like a cool guy in blue jeans. And the head sculpt, man, the head sculpt, it's just to die for. This is very, very, very G1. It helps, though, that IDW Spinister really didn't leave the design that much. As a result, this fits on an IDW shelf really well. And the fact that he is so tall means that he can also capture the fact that Spinister was taller than most Transformers in the book. If you want this for your G1 shelf or your IDW shelf, this guy works. And that's it. Looking at Spinister, I'm amazed at how many toys he's actually had. Compared to a lot of late G1 guys, he's had a truckload. I mean, he's had more than any of the other double Target Masters, and he's had more than most of the normal Target Masters. I mean, compare him to Misfire, Slug Slinger, Trigger Happy, there's no contest. I think a big thing that helps Spinister is the fact that he's just a helicopter. There's very few helicopters from G1, and most of them had gimmicks. I mean, Vortex and Blades are both combiners. Springer and Sandstorm are both triple changers. Spinister, by comparison, was the only one who was just a helicopter. There's also the fact that he's obscure enough that TFCC loves him, but he has enough name value that occasionally Hasbro is willing to throw him a bone. He's in this great little space where he's never fully forgotten, but he's also not in anyone's top 50 list, at least not until IDW came along. He's had the ability to coast. That's what he does. He coasts very well. To me, and hear me out, to me, Spinister is like the guy who was an actor in an 80s movie, and he was never a big character in it, but just his association with that movie means that he can go to any convention he wants to and probably get a lot of money from signing autographs. He's like the dude who played Dak and Boba Fett in Star Wars. Can you name the guy? No, not really. But who cares? He played Dak and Boba Fett. Of course you want his autograph. Can you sign this Boba Fett for me right now? That's kind of what Spinister is. And it's not like he's a cynic about it. He's willing to be tongue-in-cheek about the fact that he's only had a couple of roles that people remember him for. But at the same time, he's embracing it. He's working it. You better believe that he's willing to drop some weird line that only the superfans would remember. In that way, I kind of respect Spinister. He knows what he's doing, and I'm always happy to see him at the comic convention. But guys, I'll ask you, which was your favorite Spinister? And is there a Spinister you're on the hunt for right now? Now, we have a lot of characters to go through on our list, but we're going to hit each and every one of them before too much longer. And now that I'm able to buy a little bit more time for myself to really make the video something special, the 3,000 subscriber special of Ultra Magnus is going to be the next episode. Unless something disastrous happens, we're going to be talking about the original repaint of Optimus next week. Until then, guys, thank you for watching, thank you for sticking with me, thank you for the big response to the Shockwave video, and I guess we're just going to have to see what we get up to next time.